Recently, the World Economic Forum has launched its Global Gender Gap Index 2022, and it projects a gloomy picture of gender equality in India. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the Global Gender Gap Index 2022. So let's see what is the timeline of the video, what all we will be discussing today. First, we will be looking at what is the news, then the Global Gender Gap Index and the four parameters of it, that is political empowerment, economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, and health and survival. Then about the global findings of Global Gender Gap, the Indian government initiatives to improve the gender gap in India. Then in the end, we will be looking at what is World Economic Forum. Then a prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies Paper 2, vulnerable sections of the society. So from prelims perspective, it is important for you to know that who publishes the Global Gender Gap Index and what is India's ranking in it, and what are the reports which are published by the World Economic Forum. And from mains perspective, it is important for you to know that what are these four parameters and how India has performed in these four parameters. Plus, this will be very helpful for you to write in essays, as writing good facts about our own country fetches you good marks in essay. So let's start and see that what is the news. So this news has been taken from the explained section of Indian Express, and it reads, how gender equal is India as per the 2022 Global Gender Gap Index? So there are two components in it. First is how, and second is Global Gender Gap Index. And this Global Gender Gap Index also tells us that India has approximately 662 million, that is 66.2 crore women in India. So let's first see about the Global Gender Gap Index 2022, that it has been published by the World Economic Forum. So if the question comes that who publishes the Global Gender Gap Index, then the correct answer would be World Economic Forum. And out of 146 country, India has been ranked at 135 number. So it means India is not performing very good. India is one of the lowest performing countries among the other countries in the Global Gender Gap Index. Then India's overall score has improved from 0.625 in last year, that is 2021, and this year the score is 0.629. So 0.004 score we have improved. Then this is the seventh highest score for India in the last 16 years, and in 2021 India was ranked 140 out of 156 countries. So in last year, that is 2021, the total number of countries which was taken was 156, while this year it is 146 countries. So a gap of around 10 countries. So what is gender gap? Gender gap is the difference between women and men on various parameters, and these parameters are social, political, intellectual, cultural and economic. So it is the difference between male and female depending on certain criterias. So the criterias are social, political, intellectual and cultural. So this slide, what becomes important is that World Economic Forum gives out the Global Gender Gap Index, and what is India's rank in it? 2022 Global Gender Index rank of India is 135. So now let's see about the Global Gender Gap Index. See, it benchmarks countries on their progress towards gender parity in four key dimensions. So these four key dimensions are what inside the Gender Gap Index. These are the most important four key dimensions on which the countries are based or given their rankings. First is economic participation and opportunity. Second, educational attainment. Third, health and survival. Fourth is political empowerment. So how they work is, it provides a score between 0 and 1. See, this is 0 and this is 1. So 1 shows full gender parity. So if any country will be given a score of 1, it means the country is performing very good, while 0 is complete imparity. So if a country is given, see, it is like from 0 to 1, whoever will be given more marks, like 0.2, between 0.2 and 0.5, 0.5 country would be performing very good on as compared to 0.2. So 0 is complete imparity while 1 is gender parity. And the World Global Gender Gap Index is also the longest standing index, and it was started in 2006. So you need to know these 4 dimensions which is under Global Gender Gap Index. This is important to know these 4 dimensions. So let's see what is India's ranking overall in the 2022 edition. That is, see, when it comes Global Gender Gap Index, in 2022 India's ranking is 135, while in 2021 it was 140. So we have improved from 140 to 135. Then political empowerment, this year's ranking is 48, while last year's, that is 2021, ranking was 51. Economic participation and opportunity, 2022 ranking is 143 and last year's was 151. Education attainment, this year's is 107, last year was 114. Then last is health and survival, this is 146. It means we are performing very bad, because out of 146 countries, India's rank is 146. We are performing very bad. This is an area of concern. While last year also we performed extremely bad. Out of 156 countries, we were at 155th rank. So it means the area in which we are not performing good, we are the worst performer, or we are performing extremely bad, and it is an area for concern for us, is the health and survival criteria. While all other we have still improved, but while health and survival criteria is something in which we really need to work hard. So this is a Global Gender Gap Report, India's ranking in last many years. That is 2012, it was 105. We performed really well in 2016 when India's ranking was 87. We really performed well in this year. While if you will see, in 2020, India's rank was 112. But 2020 it was 112, but in 2021 it reached 140. It means between 2020 and 2021 we have performed bad. We have performed really bad, because the ranking really deteriorated between 2020 and 2021. In 2022 we have just seen that India's ranking is 135. So now let's talk about the first criteria under the Global Gender Gap Index, that is the political empowerment. So the political empowerment includes within it the percentage of women in parliament and ministerial positions. So in parliament and ministerial positions, so India has, out of the 4 criteria, India has ranked the highest in political empowerment criteria, that is 48th out of 146. So out of all, this is the criteria in which we are performing a little fine. So but as compared to its rank, its score is relatively low. So as compared to its rank, which is 48th, its score is quite low, which is 0.267. So and some of the best ranking countries in this category has scored much better than India. So the first ranked country in political empowerment is Iceland, and Bangladesh have performed really well in this, and Bangladesh has scored 9th rank, while India has scored 48th rank. So Bangladesh is doing really well when it comes to political empowerment. Now let's talk about the second criteria, which is economic participation and opportunity. The economic participation has always been a topic of discussion in India because the women's participation or the women labor force or the workforce rate is very, very low in India. And we have seen since many, many years, the women participation rate has always been around 20 to 23%, or this is the bracket in which the women participation rate has always been there. You can say from 19 to 23 or 24%, but it is not crossing this bracket. So this includes the percentage of women in labor force, wage equality for similar work, and earned income. And India's rank is very low in this, that out of 146 countries, we are standing at 143. It means there are only 3 countries which are after us. And who are those 3 countries? Though these are Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. So if Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan are after us, and then comes India, then we can like think about that how bad we are actually performing when it comes to economic participation and opportunity. While as compared to 2021, the score has improved a little bit from 0.326 to 0.350. In 2021, India was at 151 position out of 156 countries, and India's score was much lower than the global average. So economic participation we need to focus on, and it is an area of concern. And the third criteria is educational attainment. So educational attainment includes literacy rate and enrollment rate in primary, secondary, and tertiary education. In this, India's rank is out of 146 countries 107th. So we have performed compared to the women's participation in workforce, we have performed relatively better in educational attainment, and its score has marginally worsened since last year. But as compared to last year, we have not performed well in educational attainment. So in 2021, India was ranked 114 out of 156. So the last and the fourth criteria is health and survival, the area in which we are performing the worst. Out of 146 countries, we are standing at the 146th place. The most the area in which we need to really focus on, and something which is of major concern to India. So health and survival includes sex ratio at birth and healthy life expectancy. So India has ranked the last. You can actually remember this point. This will be very helpful for you to write in essays or in your mains answer writing. So India is ranked the last, that is 146 among all the countries, and its score hasn't changed from 2021, as we have just seen that last year we were at 155th position and this year we are at 146th position. So we are constantly lying in the lowest bracket when it was ranked 155th out of 156 countries. So now let's see that what are the global findings of the Global Gender Gap Index 2022. I have just pointed out few of the very important points. You do not need to see everything in this. So these are the important points that you need to know. See, Iceland has retained its position as the world's most gender equal country. So who's the most gender equal country? Who's the country which is on the first position? That is Iceland. While the top 5 are, first is Iceland, then second Finland, third Norway, fourth New Zealand, and fifth is Sweden. The Scandinavian countries are always occupying the topmost positions in the gender gap index. And the country which is lying on the last position is Afghanistan. As we all know what has happened, that Taliban has taken over the government in Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is really performing very, very bad, and the condition of the women are not good in Afghanistan. While the overall the global gender gap is closed by 68.1%. So the overall gap is 68.1%, and at the current rate of progress, the rate at which we are making progress, it will take 132 years. It will take around 132 years to reach full parity. So it will take around 132 years to reach full parity. See, these are important points from both your mains answer writing and your essay. These points can actually fetch you really good marks. This point of, like, you can say, you can quote in your answers like, according to the Global Gender Gap Index 2022, that it will take around 132 years to reach full parity. So this by quoting the name of the report, the answer becomes really authentic and credible, that you have really studied and then you are quoting the facts and the figures. So next becomes that what has Indian government done to increase the gender parity in India. So Indian government has taken few of the initiatives, which are Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. It ensures the protection, survival and education of the girl child. So Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. After this is Mahila Shakti Kendra. It aims to empower rural women with opportunities for skill development and employment. So rural women are now actually doing really good in agriculture sector also. Then comes Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. This is also for girls, which they have been economically empowered by opening their bank accounts. So this improves the financial literacy also. Then comes political reservation. Government has reserved 33% of the seats in the Panchayati Raj institutions for women. See, at the level of Panchayati Raj institutions, they are doing really well for the women, as reservation is also there and women are also coming in big numbers to show their representation at the Panchayati Raj level. Then comes, let's talk about the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is the international organization for public-private cooperation. It was established in 1971 as a non-for-profit foundation. It is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. And one of the major reports which are published by the World Economic Forum are Energy Transition Index, Global Competitiveness Report, Global Gender Gap Report, as we have just seen, then the Global Risk Report and the Global Travel and Tourism Report. If you are going through the previous year questions, you will be knowing that how important reports are. UPSC usually asks around one report in their paper. So this section becomes very important for you. Reports are a major part, and in preliminary exam we have seen that it has constantly being asked. So next is the prelims MCQ. This says, which of the following reports is or are published by the World Economic Forum? So you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section, and this will really help me in knowing whether you are actually listening to the slides properly or not, because we have just discussed this. So the reports which are published by the World Economic Forum, first is Global Gender Gap Report, second is Global Risk Report, third is Energy Transition Index. Then you need to tell me the correct answer, and the codes are 2 only, 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, and the last is 1, 2 and 3. So in the end we will be looking into a mains practice question, and that is, what are the reasons for India's low score in the Global Gender Gap Report, and what measures can be taken to improve India's standing? And this is a 10 marker question. So what is the command in this that you people need to keep in mind while writing your answers? That is, first is what and second is also what. But in first what you people have to do is you have to write the answers for India's low performance, while in the second what you people have to write about the measures. And before writing the regions and the measures, write few lines about the Global Gender Gap Report, about the 4 dimensions in it and what is India's ranking in it. Then give a good positive conclusion also. This is what will make a full-fledged answer. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.